Ska jag gå upp? Virpi Pakinen, one of the most best solo dancers in Scandinavia. Welcome everybody. How are you? My name is Ellen Nyman, and I'm an actress, a director, and I will be your host here in the great, fantastic arena. First time, 1988. The Nordic Forum was in Oslo. Second time, 1994, in Åbo. And now, 20 years later, 2014, here in Malmö. It's fantastic. Yoo-hoo! Dear audience, it's such a great honor and a great, I have no words. It's such a pleasure to welcome you to this Nordic Forum. And I would like to welcome you to Malmö, this lovely city, one of the most diverse city of Sweden, and maybe one of the most diverse city in all of our Nordic cities. Please go out and enjoy this fantastic city. And when we are here, I have to say, velkommen til Øresundsregionen. I befinder jer i hjertet af Danmark og Sverige. Hygg jer! Og når jeg nu prøver meg på dansk, så skal jeg også prøve meg på norsk. Og jeg vil si det sånn en vidunderlig følelse at få lov å stå her og åpne dette gigantiske forum på norsk, selv om jeg ikke særlig god til det. Og jeg vil også si to all the feminists in the house, tervetuloa feministinen! Yoo-hoo! Now we are starting. Here up in Norden, one could say that feminist movement has many similarities. We have the idea, people can look upon us as very similar. Same welfare system, or same welfare history, or mindset, or sometimes also language. But the diversity among us feminists increases for every year. We have so many different backgrounds, so many different opportunities, so many different interests. And that gives us a huge amount of topics. And that is fantastic. And that's the reason why we have this beautiful, enormous, and completely unmanageable large program, because we are so diverse. And I just recommend you to find this, read it, take control of it, and enjoy it. I would also like to recommend that you choose one thing you maybe know nothing about, have no interest in, or don't understand, or completely disagree on. Choose one topic, one event, and go there. And maybe when we all do that, there is a possibility that we broaden our perspective on what this great Nordic feminist movement can and should be. And that is my hope for these days. Now, I'm very happy to welcome Katrin Stjernfeldt Jamme, the representative from the city of Malmö. And I would really love to thank you for hosting, being supporting the whole event, Malmö stad.
Thank
Please.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dear guests, welcome to Malmö. I'm very proud to welcome you to Malmö today. And this is a historical event. And I'm glad to welcome the Nordic women movement and international and national guests. I'm proud that Malmö has got the honor to host this Nordic forum. And I would like to say thank you to the Swedish Women Lobby. And in Malmö, we're working hard in different ways to create a city where everyone has got equal rights and equal possibilities. It's still a long way to go, but we are walking. We are here to inspire and to be inspired. We are here to learn and to discuss. We are here to take further action. Without all of your organization, with your energy, with your faith, with your hard work, this event wouldn't be possible. I took part of, and I've seen your preparations on Twitter. I've read your calls for empowerment, for engagement. The forum is just about to begin, and the air is already full of electricity, of hope, of energy, of determined struggle, and I just love it. Malmö is a young, modern, diverse, global city, and it's well suited for events like this. If we take a trip in history, 100 years ago, 1914, Malmö and Pildammsparken was the place for another historical event. It was called the Baltic Exhibition. You may have heard about it. The exhibition's main purpose was to showcase that area's technological progress. But the women's movement took their chance to gather and to take stand for women's right to vote. And the aim in 1914 was to show women's skills and capability. And that's what we are doing here today. Although I believe that we, during this 100 years, has walked a few steps down the road towards a more equal society. But at the same time, we know that there's still a lot of hard work to be done. That has to be done. Women are still not being paid as much as men. They don't have the same opportunities to have a career, to feel healthy and safe. Women are getting hurt and killed. Young girls and boys are being told, learn how to act in a way that limits their freedom. And that's not okay, and that's why we're here today. The city of Malmö has made it possible for some employees in the elderly care, preschools and civil servants, leaders and others in our organization to be here to learn and to discuss. And we have a long way to go and we have to work together. We have to recognize structural discrimination and segregation. And I think municipalities and governments in all Nordic countries, European countries, and worldwide countries has to see their part in this. Finally, I wish you a nice day in Malmö. I hope you will enjoy and have the possibility to combine your important work with pleasure. I hope to see you in Folkets Park, an outdoor living room for lots of people in the city. And during these days, there will be ambitious festivities for everyone, and especially for hard-working feminists. See you there, and welcome to Malmö. Let this begin. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Now we will listen to Maria Arnholm, who is a Swedish Minister of Gender and Equality. Please come up. And we would also like to thank you, the Swedish government, for supporting this event.
How I have longed to be here, to stand here together with all of you. Let's meet in Malmö in June 2014. That has been my mantra since the winter of 2012. And now we are finally here. I have met a lot of new and old friends and acquaintances only during this first hour of this marvelous event, and I'm sure that by Sunday evening I have talked to each and every one of you. It was in the winter of 2012 that I first came to know of the plans for this event, and I read the applications from the Swedish Women's Lobby for making this forum. And I could really feel that there was something very important coming up. And I'm very proud, as Ellen said, that the Swedish government have had the possibility to contribute with a substantial part of the budget for this event. I was one among others who, during that winter, predicted that there were some feminist agenda coming up, that there would be a much greater discussion on equality, gender equality issues. A lot of people doubted that we know what we were talking about, but nowadays nobody argues, especially not if they come and see all of you here. How did that happen? Was it because of politicians? No, it was because of you. It was because of the energy and the power of the civil society that was bound to sooner or later influence the mainstream politics. And so it is, and this forum is an example of this, because during these past 18 months, Sweden has seen so much feminist activism. Gender equality issues are on everyone's lips. There is not a single politician in Sweden today who can ignore the gender aspects, the gender equality aspects of his or her agenda. Whether they like it or not, feminism is here to stay. And this is a great achievement of you. I read in some paper that this would be a grassroots event, and I think it's very important to set that stage. It's because of you who are here this has happened, and now let's celebrate that. But we are not here because we are content. We are here because we still are angry and frustrated. We are here because we need less conversation and more action. I see my time is running out, so I will not repeat all the struggles we still have to fight. I will just remind you that we also have faced a success for the right extremists in the European elections, and we have tough negotiations when it comes to women's issues in UN. But despite these cold winds of misogyny and anti-feminists, we also feel these warm winds of change. And now we need to take further steps. As Ellen pointed out, we have diversity among us. We will have hard discussions during the days to come, and that is the purpose of meeting. It's to enjoy, but also to discuss and to find further and more conclusions on our common platform, because even though we disagree on a lot, we are very much united in the fact that we all strive for a better world. We are united in our belief in the equal and human rights for all, regardless of where you live or who you are. The world mustn't only be a man's word, it must also be a woman's word, and a word that belongs to LGBT people, to people of different religions, social classes, ethnicities, and with disabilities. A word where everybody chooses freely how they want to live and what they want to become. Thank you, the Nordic Women's Lobby, for making history, and thank you for inviting us all to join.
Thank you, Maria Arnholm. Thank you. Now we are going to listen to Nicole Amelin, a chairperson for the Committee of the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, High Commissioner for Human Rights. Please welcome Nicole.
Good morning, everyone. Dear representatives of local authorities, but dear representative, very dear representatives of the civil society. First of all, I want to salute this initiative that represents one of the most important events, not only here, but for the world. And I am very proud to be here with you, for you. I know your combat, and I want to say my admiration and thanks of you, because this forum is already a success. On behalf of the CEDAW committee, I would like to thank you and to congratulate you for your commitment and the great signal you are sending to all women in the world. While remaining the main victims of violence, suffering and conflict, women are, in the meantime, the main forces of sustainable development and peace. Let's give here the best visibility to the Nigerian girls and to all victims of discrimination, to all these who march in the streets on behalf of their rights to be heard, facing beatings and bullets. We share, my dear friends, a common goal to reach not only the de jure but de facto equality, and I want first to acknowledge the leading role of Nordic countries to improve the women's rights. Here in Sweden, and more generally in each of your countries, we value the specific social advancement for women realized as one of the best in the world. And I'm very proud to see, as member of CEDAW committee, a man of Finland. This would have been possible without the mobilization of the civil societies in each of these countries. The fact that you have reached further than many other countries doesn't mean that it was easy. It shows that you, the NGOs, the women of the North, have been courageous, consistent, creative and convincing. You have improved the situation not only in your own countries, but been a source of inspiration of all over the world, and for that I want to say thank you. But we know that we have to do more. This is still quite a lot to achieve, even for European countries to fully implement the CEDAW Convention. And this forum has to be the opportunity to take a new step. Yes, whatever the goal, the global progress realized, we observe everywhere in the world many backlashes, even here in Europe, and that demonstrates that women's rights are not consolidated enough to resist to political, economic crisis or conflict. It's not my first time here. I came as minister to benchmark your advance in this crucial issue. But you have to consider, we have to consider everywhere that the CEDAW Convention is the most relevant instrument to progress and to reach our common goal. Our universal interactive convention is ratified by 187 countries. And the main challenge for us today is to give it a concrete efficiency. Here in Europe, I want to underline that all the states members of the Council of Europe have ratified the Convention. So each country has now to reinforce the implementation of the Convention on the ground, and for many reasons. First of all, our first responsibility is to act here in Europe to prove that women's rights are not only a social issue, but a substantial condition of dignity, empowerment, sustainable growth. And the topic of this forum is on this point very relevant. Secondly, we have to keep in mind our common responsibility in the world in protecting fundamental rights. Each piece of progress here in Europe is a hope, a signal for the women who are fighting for their rights and too often for their lives. And third, I think that we have to strengthen the local and regional cooperation and the NGOs network. To reach this goal, the implementation of the Convention is a first priority, and also its visibility. Its global and inclusive approach brings, in fact, a strategic as well as an operational roadmap. I want to recall that the state parties have to respect their international obligations relating to the Convention and to use its provisions as concrete tools. My wish is to use the international framework to accelerate the change. We are moving into a year intergovernmental process defining new development goals. Among those SDGs, one goal shall focus on gender equality, additionally to mainstreaming this concern throughout all the goals. Thank you for your help and your support for that. No time to lose, no money to waste. We need to reinforce our strategies here in Europe as well as everywhere to reach our common ambition. And I will highlight two last issues. First, violence against women. It's true that we have to take your good example about prostitution, trafficking, about violences. We have to go further on equality on work, and there again the Nordic countries have been considered as leaders. But we have to go further and faster. As chair of CEDAW committee, I want to highlight the question of stereotypes and to ask you to stay mobilized, united. We need to accelerate the change. We need to be conscious that the time has come for a feminist surge. And let me say that it's my honor to be there. Tack for engagement.
Thank you, Nicole Amlin. Thank you very
Merci
much.
beaucoup.
Thank you. Now we will listen to Gertrud Åström, representative from the Nordic Steering Group for Nordic Forum. Welcome.
Thank you. Dear defenders of women's rights, dear gender equality workers, dear colleagues, dear friends. The women's movement is diverse. Different groups of women raise issues of importance to them. Women have fought for suffrage, better housing, union rights, sexual rights, rights to education, equal pay, and peace. Many of those issues are now an established part of this society. Women's movement has achieved remarkable success. Still today, all over the world, women's rights are questioned and restricted with reference to economy, demography, globalization, market interests, to traditions, religions and cultures. Principles of universal rights and democracy are called into question. Also, economic, environmental and political crises have repeatedly been shown to have the most negative impact on women, while women have been excluded from decision-making that led to the crisis. The women's movement reacts against injustice and oppression. Individual women and groups of women have different experiences, opportunities, and we do have different obligations. But despite these differences, we meet in a collective struggle for women's rights and gender-equal society. Nordiskt Forum Malmö 2014, New Action on Women's Rights, is the answer from the Nordic women's movement to the present challenges. We stand strong. We do not accept a decline in women's rights. We work for a better future, for women's and men's equal dignity, freedom and rights. We build commitment and understanding for the gender equality challenges and opportunities. We promote the Nordic debate on women's rights, and we urge ourselves to further develop international perspectives, solidarity and commitments. We build networks. We provide knowledge on CEDAW and the Beijing Platform for Action, those most important tools for women's empowerment. We formulate recommendations for gender-sensitive, sustainable development goals. And we invite the new generation that has entered the scene since the UN World Conference on Women in Beijing in 1995. Please break new ground. We invite all the Nordic governments to implement the recommendations and the demands laid down in the Nordic Forum outcome document. We recall the commitments made at the adoption of the Beijing Platform for Action, and we remember the promises we were given. Life is short. It is a gift that we are set to cherish. In our hearts, we cherish those who have gone before us. We know of their struggle. We remember their sacrifices. We remember their call to make a difference, to act and to do what is needed. We do not ask permission. We do not wait for someone to invite us. We invite others. We invite the whole society to gather and act. Don't agonize, organize. Nordic Forum is the community, the opportunity we create together. We make a difference.
Thank you. Thank you. Gertrud Åström, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Og nå skal vi lytte til det norske bandet Queendom. Queendom is a performing art collective. Please welcome the Norwegian band Queendom.
I don't have shame, 'cause a woman cannot be tamed. I'm a woman. can't debate. I can love, I can hate. I can live alone or procreate. I can't carry my load. I can play nice, I can explode. I'm innovative and cliche, cause my mama brought me up this way. So no, sister, my sister with the bruises. No, sister, my sister with excuse. Oh no, sister, my sister, here on fire. Let's take control of this before you expire. You're a woman, look at your son. For him the battle has just begun. You're a woman, now lead the way, because he'll find a woman like you someday. I am gay, I am straight, I can play, I can debate, I can love, I can hate, I can live alone or procreate, I can carry my load, I can play nice, I can explode, I'm innovative and cliche, cause my mama brought me up this way. So no, sister, my sister with excuse. Oh no, sister, my sister with abuse. Oh no, sister, my sister, you're on fire. Let's take control of this before you expire. Let's take control of this before you expire. We keep the battle alive until the battle is won. We keep the battle alive until the battle is won. We keep the battle alive until the battle is won. We keep the battle alive until the battle is. Come on. We keep the battle alive until the battle is won. We keep the battle alive until the battle is won. We keep the battle alive until the battle is won. We keep the battle alive until the battle is.
Hello everybody. We are Queendom. And you know what? It's so nice to be here in Malmö with all the fellow queens in the house. All of us are bred and buttered in Oslo, Norway. But we come from the great continent of Africa. So on my left-hand side, I have Asta from Uganda. Monica from Nigeria, and myself, Hannah, from Ethiopia. And you see this great band we have with us. We love them. They are our band. Give them applause.
Okay.
And far away there, we have Sigmund, our sound engineer. We love you.
Some people who seem to like to dance. If you want, you can just feel free. I got a question for you sisters. What the hell is going on? Oh, every time you see a woman on the rise, a green monster comes along. Only on the shoulders of giants can we prosper. When will we realize? Oh, without her sisters by her side. Because a girl cannot grow to rule the world without her sisters by her side. Woman, don't be afraid of me, not your enemy. So make her right. Woman, don't be afraid of me, I'm your sister, not your enemy. Do wrong, don't make her right. Oh, where is the solidarity? Why do you always question my authority? It seems like the more I accomplish, the more you wanna pull me down. No, if there was another way, sister, wish we could both wear this crown. Oh, because a girl cannot grow to rule the world without her sisters by her side. Because a girl cannot grow to rule the world without her sisters by her side. Come on, come on. Woman, don't be afraid of me, not your enemy. Two wrongs don't make a right. Woman, don't be afraid of me, not your enemy. Two wrongs don't make a right. Without her sisters by her side. Because a girl cannot grow to rule the world without her sisters by her side. No, because a girl cannot grow to rule the world. That's true. Without her sisters by her side. No, because a girl cannot grow to rule the world without her sisters by her side. Woman, don't be afraid of me, I'm your enemy. Don't make me right, don't make me right, don't make me right. Woman, don't be afraid of me, I'm your sister, not your enemy. Do wrong, don't make me right. Come here, come here, come here. Woman, don't be afraid of me, I'm your sister, not your enemy. Do wrong, don't make me right, don't make me wrong. I say, woman, don't be afraid of me, I'm your sister, not your enemy. Do wrong, don't make me right. How are you all doing? Are you feeling good? We are looking forward to spending the rest of this week with you. We'll see you soon. Woo!
Thanks to Queedom! Yoo-hoo! Okay, now we have a short break, 5 minutes, and we will start here again. And for all of you who will go to all the other events, there's an open program. Just think of the time and the schedule for, there can be some long distance, so you find the rooms and the spaces. We will go, when we come back here after the break, we will have themes in this the arena, the plenary sessions, that will be labor, violence, security, sustainable development. And you will have possibilities to listen to political hotshots like Johanna Schmidt-Nielsen, Stefan Löfven, Margot Wallström. See you out there, and thank you for the evening.